Saku, a talented photographer who has joined us on Think Different podcast to share insights into the world of photography and how the art form intertwines with mental health. Tune in to gain a new perspective on creativity, expression, and well being. So, how has your passion for photography positively impacted your mental health and well being?
Well, to be honest with you, let me give you a little backstory. Before I even embarked on this photography journey, my education was actually in psychology, which is basically mental health. So, from that department of life, I already had management tools that would help me regulate the mental health aspect of my existence. Photography was something that I stumbled upon. I didn't have any calling that said when I was a child, I just loved photography. Nothing like that. I used to have a tech store. A customer came in, traded in a camera. I couldn't get the camera sold. And I just decided, I'm just gonna fiddle around with it and
Mm-hmm.
see what becomes of it. I started creating with it and I'm like, boy, these pictures kinda look good, man. Mind you, we don't really understand the technical aspects of photography. Say no, sir.
Yeah.
Some of the white balance, them kind of certain things just wrong. But to me, it looked good. What I realized when I decided to fully throw myself into photography by going to school and getting a little bit more technical education was that creating for me wasn't just about the money because I was already making money from the other investments of my life, right?
Right.
When I started to create though and you start to see things a little bit different. You see the world a little bit different. You see beauty in even the dingiest things. You get what I mean? So when I go out, even if it's just for a walk, I take my camera and I capture something. For me, it's so soothing, like just adjusting those settings, capturing an image that I find to be beautiful, coming back,
Mm-hmm.
throwing it on the camera, and then just post-processing it to one that appeals to me. All of that stuff, the complete process of it. And that's for like the personal shoots that I do, like just casually. When for
Right.
example, I'm doing like a professional shoot or something for a client, sometimes a client thinks that the only aspect that the only thing that goes into it is you going in front of them, capturing the image, and it's done. But sometimes
True.
there's so much things that goes into it even before. Like, for example, I like studio photography, right? And like I create my own canvas backdrop. Sometimes I will go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and sometimes I just get the misting paints because they're cheap. And I don't have any specific like desire for any particular color. I just go there and find the cheap one that works, right? And I will like create specific backdrops for the specific shoot. And for me, that is like therapy, like creating every aspect of it. Just therapy for me, creating a backdrop, to setting it up, to additional research to know what pops to bring together to create that end result. That's just like the best feeling. Actually,
Yes.
the, the least, I wouldn't say not it's not gratifying, but the least exciting part sometimes is just capturing. It's the complete thing, the complete other little thing that brings together the end result
Yeah.
that makes it so like rewarding for me. Like I'm not a person that does a lot of things recreationally. Sometimes my wife be like, "Why you don't do something like outside of photography? What you do for fun?" Like, but to me, whilst photography is work, it's fun. So I be like
Definitely.
capturing pictures there, pictures here, pictures there. She used to get so like I wouldn't say annoyed. She used to find it like, oh my god, put down the camera sometime. But now she gets it a little bit more.
Yeah.
She gets a little bit more recognized that now she's even into it herself. She'd be like, I like your Fujifilm camera. I don't really like the Panasonic one as much. It doesn't give me that
Oh
little
wow, look at that.
vibe. But when she get that little Fujifilm one and she switch her knob here and she switch her knob there, she gets why, like, outside of the professional aspect of it, how, like, yeah, I get why it can't do so much, why for you it is so fulfilling. So that's basically how photography works in conjunction with regulating my mental health.
And that's good. You spoke earlier about studying psychology and then transitioning over to becoming a photographer. But, you had a big milestone that you accomplished the other day, and that's releasing your magazine. How was that for you?
Funnily, it wasn't even a magazine that I released myself. I a friend of mine suggested this specific magazine, and I said I should submit some of my work. So I was like, okay, why not? Let me submit it because I've been doing a lot of boudoir photography of late, and I find that it's something that I really, really love and I really, really enjoy. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna submit the images. Remember, there's a magazine that a lot of other photographers are submitting to also. So it's competitive. You can get accepted for submission. You might not. You can get accepted and end up in the back of the magazine. But I was actually pleasantly amazed when I got the email, your front cover artist, and I was like, no, sir, no, this nice. But say like I'm being featured in a magazine, my work on the front page. It's quite gratifying because like I've been capturing images in Jamaica for a while, but sometimes you find that you don't get that recognition. But when you try to tap into other like aspects, other places, recognize that they value the art in such a way that be like, oh, that is an amazing image, and they will give you the recognition you want. So that was actually it was gratifying. I've been publishing other magazines, but this is actually my first front cover. So that
Right.
feels good enough. So, the objective now is to get a couple more front covers in different magazines. I have some publication with
Definitely.
other magazines coming out. I'm hoping to eventually get it to some super premium magazine. But, one step at a time, I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm just happy for the small accomplishments and I just count them one by one. And then, because I know that eventually more will come.
True, that's true. And you're doing a great job at all of what you do.
Thank you so much. You're doing a great job with your podcast also.
Thank you. So, how do you manage the demands of your craft to ensure a healthy work-life balance and protect your mental well-being?
Okay, then. So with photography, like with a lot of businesses, you have the ebbs and flows. You have some seasons where there's a lot to do, and there are some other seasons where it's not so fast, right? In those seasons for me, when it's hectic, my family, those who I have to engage in that personal space, just understand that I'm on the grind, I'm going, going, going. So I just go, right? So in the other spells now where there's nothing to do, I prioritize ensuring that I create a lot of memories with family, ensuring that I'm taking care of myself and doing what I need to do to balance my life, right? In that photography space that's hectic, I also try not to overwhelm myself. Like, money is nice and all that, but it's not fun for me if it's too stressful. You get what I mean? I'm not gonna
Yeah,
because I'm a person that also keeps my life very affordable. So I don't have to take every booking. I don't have to do everything that comes my way because some clients aren't really worth the stress. Some money not really worth the stress.
true.
So
That's true.
I try to ensure that I don't do too much work that will cause me to not be able to produce the best quality work. Because if I'm tired, if my mindset is not in that place of creativity, I don't think I enjoy the outcome of my work as much. So I try to ensure that I can get that downtime to relax. So when I go back to create, I create effectively.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I balance that work life ebb and flow.
And that's good. I don't think a lot of people can manage all of that, doing, their mental breaks and stuff like that, because it can be overwhelming, as I mentioned earlier on.
It's for some people can't, but I think what makes it so stressful for a lot of people is bills got to get paid. You get what I mean? Bills
Yeah,
got
for
to get
real.
paid. And, living in a first world country, you understand that. You can to Jamaica sometime and you're broke, but you're still kind of all right. You know them way there? But
Yeah,
in a first world country, those bills, I'm telling you, they're gonna like smack you. So you have to work, like work, work, work. So sometimes you want to prioritize your mental health. You
yeah,
want to prioritize doing things that bring you joy outside of work. You want to just sleep, rest, take vacations, but you recognize it's not as feasible. You get what I mean? So
right.
I understand why some people, whilst they want to, they can't. I personally just try to keep my life affordable so I can, because like working when I work within that psychology space, right? Having mental breakdowns are so debilitating, like throw you off in so many ways. So that is something I have to prioritize over everything else.
True.
Try to regulate those depressive spells so as to not end up in that slump. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's kind of how I try as much as possible to make sure that I do things for peace of mind also.
and that's good. Have you found a supportive community within the photography world that helps to foster a positive mental health environment? And how important is this network in your creative journey?
Oh, I've met so many amazing creatives, so many. Because, for example, I don't consider myself super extroverted, right? I'll talk, I'll engage people, but if they initiate, I'm not going to go out of my way to engage others. And I found that having that network of people who are probably a bit more extroverted than I am has caused me to create some of my bodies of work. Like people be like, Saku, come man, we're going here, so go do this. And I say, all right, may I come. And I go there and I create some amazing work, which I myself push myself into those spaces. Being around other creatives who understand the process of creativity allows
Yeah,
you to bounce things off, ideas off that you probably cannot do with anybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't have an idea in your mind and you just want to get it out in a creative way. You want to capture it. You want to create the image. You want to video it. You just want to get it out of your head. Because sometimes when you have something in your mind,
yeah.
get to create it, it's like it haunts you, man. Like,
Real thing, yeah,
you just,
for
you just
real.
want, you see an image, you say, no, that image just lit, you want to go recreate it. You just have to do it. You just have to do it, may I tell you. So, having other creatives and other photographers who are like-minded or like-minded creativity wise, like, it's so important because it helps you to get those things out your head. Because if you keep
Yeah.
everything in your head, may I tell you, you will mad out like what Valiant say, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
important to just find people who share similar interests and just work in, because collaboration is the new currency. Sometimes some things where you can't
true.
pay for, you can accomplish by collaborating with others. You get what I say? Mind
True.
you, the creative space is quite competitive. So you'll meet those people who aren't so kind, who will try to sabotage your growth, sabotage your progress and stuff. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
meet those. You can't avoid it. I've been fortunate enough to not have any engagement with nobody like that, brother. To off my thing. So
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
grateful in that regard, but you have to be mindful because not everybody wants to see you like improve and get to that space that you want to get. So, I've been fortunate to meet some creatives, like Connie from Poppy Flower, and a lot, Jocelyn from Josh D Photography, a lot of other photographers who you just collab with them, create some great work, and get things going. So as that correlates to my mental health, I'm saying
Yeah.
networking. Sometimes you're not paying a pocket. You're not have to pay out of pocket. Sometimes you just need to meet the right network of people, and it put you in a places where probably not even money would have put you. You know what I mean? So
True.
in that way, that's kind of how I would address that particular question.
And what advice would you have given someone that is interested in going into photography or even videography, how to
Mm-hmm.
handle certain pressures or how to navigate mentally? Because, you have clients who may be cool and you have the ones that are just the nagging ones.
This is an interesting question because, to be honest, it's not even just photography or videography. Once you're
Right.
providing a service, it will come with stress. Like, your client's stressful. Mind you, you have to know how to communicate, and I advise anyone straight up contracts, 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 contracts. Like, be very clear with your clients, what you're delivering, what are the expectations, sign contracts. I do nothing, whether it be a collaborative shoot, a profession, a shoot that I'm employed for, I do nothing without a contract. You know what I mean? That
Right.
mitigates a lot of stress with a person that say, but I thought I was going to get 10 photos. No, the contract's a 5. Like, once it's written down and certain things very clear, certain
Right.
conversations a person can come to you about. Mind you, sometimes a contract will state a particular thing and out of the kindness of your heart, you will, overlook certain things and say, I'm gonna give you a 6 photo or me say I'm not gonna do this, you're supposed to get 1 or maybe give you extra 5 minutes. There are certain things you'll do out of your own from your own discretion as a human being to regardless of what contract state. But lead with a
Right.
contract. Lead with a contract all the time because people will people say, oh, they look at your work and they see your editing style, they see your end result and be like, okay, this is what I want. Make it clear, say, this is your style. You're gonna deliver to your style. Because the person will say, this is how you do your thing, this is how you create your art, and why you create your art like somebody else. If you want that, go employ that other person. And you get that art that you want. Because mind you, I am confident in my work as a creative, but my style isn't for everyone. You
True.
get what I mean? A person might
Yeah.
like my tones, but they won't like an expressive tone. And a person might want a specific tone that I don't want to create that way because that's not how I create. You know what I mean? So you have to bear in mind
True.
it's business ultimately, and you're gonna come with it's gonna come with difficult clients. You got some clients where, mind you, this is from my experience in all the business. Clients that pay the least, no disrespect to anyone with a low budget for work, but clients who pay the least or who want to ball your price, give you the most stress. Like, if you're
Oh boy.
a new creative trying to tap into this space, you have to learn how to draw your lines, set boundaries. If a person goes, all right then, because mind you, when I used to do music videos, in Jamaica and stuff, and a person will say, every music video 100 grand. And the person come and say, yo, 50 grand more. And I said, no, I can't take 50 grand because guess what? If me take 50 grand, you still gonna want me work like 100 grand. You still gonna want the end result like 100 grand. So if you want 50 grand worth of work, sure. But you cannot standard drop your price and then still sometimes want you to operate at a standard. Sometimes you can negotiate and find ways to, if you can't get paid in cash, you get paid in other ways, royalties, whatever it is. But you just have to, at sometimes, you just have to be firm and know, say, well, I mean, I love, you might need a 50 grand there, But sometimes the
Mm-hmm.
stress, if you go up on a set no and you light or drop or mash up, you can't have a bite back. So
True.
sometimes you have to just like stand firm. Because sometimes I rather work for free for work be super discounted. If I work for free, you can't come stress me. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you. If I collaborate
Yeah.
with you, I'm say no, we are trade services, you are provided services the way that I provide my service. Don't come stress me. You know what I mean? That's just how me
Yeah.
feel about that. But
Yeah.
but if a person work, if you work for a person discounted, I'm gonna still want to stress to let them pay full money. That's
Mm-hmm.
just what me find. You know, so anybody will embark on any form of business, photography, videography, you just have to know that some clients are go good, some are go bad, but lead with contracts. Lead with contracts. No matter what, if you come out for the phone with them, you just have a communication. Send a follow-up email. As it regards to our conversation on the phone earlier, you will be receiving blah, 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 blah. And let's make it clear, because the person will go by and say, but you never said that. You said me not go get this, so you said me
Yeah.
not go get
For
that.
real.
Oh, I want about my money. And I'm kind of feisty sometimes. I try to be very professional, but I'm a feisty person naturally. You get what I mean? So
Right.
I'm a
Yeah.
person. If I see like you gonna start stress me, I'll give back your money. Like, cause me just cannot sometimes deal with the stress, especially if I felt like I was accommodating a specific budget and I communicated with you like this is what I can give you within that, and then it's all hell and powder house afterward. You get me? I'd rather
Yeah.
say thanks for considering me for the business, but I feel like I might just have to refund you and you just keep it moving. Sometimes
True.
you lose financially or whatever, but you still have your peace of mind, and that's priority to me.
True. That's true. But thank you for your time. It's a pleasure having you on the platform, and I appreciate you sharing your insights and expressing all of what the photography world consists of and how important mental health is, even in that aspect. So thank you again
Okay.
for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I wish you much success with your endeavor.
Thank you.